There are over 550 million firearms in worldwide circulation. That's one firearm for every 12 people on the planet. The only question is, how do we arm the other 11?
Selling guns is like selling vacuum cleaners. You make calls, pound the pavement. I supply to every army but the Salvation Army.
Hi, welcome back. Nikita Teryoshin has developed a style and stuck with it, and it's working for him. He photographs his subjects in an ironic manner using strong flash, making the scenes look surreal and sometimes shocking. By capturing jarring juxtapositions, viewers are forced to question the ways in which our modern society is developed and whether this is the world that we want to live in. The aesthetic that he's developed and his ironic view of humanity isn't new. Martin Parr was probably the photographer who made the style popular in the mid-1980s, and he's continued with this approach up until today. But Teryoshin has merged the style with a sort of investigative photojournalism to produce hard-hitting and dramatic essays. He was born in Leningrad in 1986, and his family moved to Germany when he was 13 years old. His father was a painter and set designer for theatre and television. When Teryoshin was growing up, he was exposed to these strange backstages that his father had produced, and they made a strong impression on him. Since then, he's been fascinated by the artificial representations used by media, industry, and politicians. Another strong theme for him is the exploration of the sometimes dubious relationship between humans and animals. His breakthrough project was Nothing Personal, which deals with the global arms trade. It won the Contemporary Issues section of World Press 2020 and has also been exhibited widely. It shows what he calls the back office of war, the environment that is the polar opposite to what one experiences on the battlefield. It's basically an oversized playground for people involved in the arms industry, and the exhibits come with champagne, finger food, and shiny, clean weapons. The project started when he managed to get access to a small arms fair held in Poland, and over the next 7 years, he visited another 16 fairs. Even the word fair conjures up images of happy kids playing on carousels. These arms exhibitions have a veneer of normality, but knowing what they promote makes the whole experience of visiting these fairs even more sinister. For these weapons traders, the best possible outcome is to sell arms to both sides of the conflict. This is big business, and the government ministers, heads of states, generals, and traders are focused on wealth and power. Companies use slogans like 70 years defending peace or Kalashnikovs engineered for life. Teryoshin noticed that a lot of people that attend these fairs actually believe these things. He talks about the inventor of the machine gun, Richard Gatling, who said that he wanted to invent a weapon that would allow one man to kill as many of the enemy as 100 men. He thought that this would reduce the number of soldiers needed on the battlefield. Teryoshin didn't want to point fingers at any particular person. He was more interested in the overall arms system. So in his pictures, we never see a face in full. Rifles, model tanks, and weapon brochures are used in clever ways to block out facial features. The presence of obscured people makes the scenes even more humorous and surreal, and this absence of the individual becomes a metaphor for the arms industry as a whole. The aggressive quality of his flash helps to exaggerate the garishness of the fairs and make viewers stop and reflect on what's actually happening here. In this shot, we see a woman helping herself to food. Her bright dress and the colourful food is contrasted against the bland military coloured equipment. One becomes aware of the vulnerable skin juxtaposed against the mechanical machinery which is used to destroy bodies. The line of the turret mirrors the arms reaching for the food, and the feminine form seems to be overshadowed by the phallic masculine equipment. One can carry on making interpretations about this particular photograph. The food on the left is shaped into exploding bombs, and the canapes on the right look like lines of marching soldiers. On the second day of the Abu Dhabi fair, Teryoshin came across some traders packing up their stand, which was displaying machine guns and bazookas. He watched them carrying their stock back to a storeroom to lock them up overnight. He started photographing and had a rough idea in his head what he was looking for. But then another person holding a cell phone became visible through the back door, and then the shot became multi-layered with meaning. Teryoshin is drawn to explore subjects that disturb him. This essay, called Life Sentence, looks at the state of zoos. The animals have been removed from their natural environment and look incredibly lonely. They don't have enough space, so they become neurotic and start to pace back and forth. He photographs these scenes in a similar deadpan manner, as if they are tourist snapshots or badly made brochure pictures. One can't but help think that the animals got a really bad deal out of this bargain. Similarly, the subject of this essay is animals and the unnatural developments that have evolved in the dairy industry. In Germany, these animals are called turbo cows. Scientists have studied genomic codes and have compiled millions of breeding values. This has allowed them to design an animal with up to 4 times higher milk output, and they're even able to get rid of the animal's horns. These methods of breeding cause health problems. Generally, dairy cows can live up to 30 years, but turbo cows only live for 3 to 5 years on average until they get sick or lose their childbearing potential. This essay is a little bit lighter, but it still points fingers at the excesses of modern society. I'll run a few more images from this essay at the end of the video, but thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.
Street photography, it's a language, so people to whom you address it have to be able to read it. Street photography is about seeing things